Welcome to Wire Guild. Tutorial I'm going to show you today is a Momento Mori, or a skull ring tutorial. And the materials that I've used were 13mm Swarovski crystal element skull, that's a mouthful, some 1mm or 18 gauge round copper wire, and a lot of 18 gauge half hard, half round copper wire. Now you could do this in silver if you wished, but I do think you're better off practicing it the first time using copper because of course it's that much cheaper. And these are the rings we're going to be making. So you start off with your, I've got my copper wire here, and as I say it's 1mm or 18 gauge. And I have my little Swarovski skull, and just pull my sleeves up, sorry, there we go. As you can see, he's very cute and he's got little eye sockets and little face. The only problem is his bead hole is in the top of his head. Now this is awkward because if you're going to make a ring, your wire would go downwards, so if you put him on it would be that way, and we need it that way. So what I'm going to do is to enable my little skull to be sitting the right way around on your finger is roughly in the middle of the wire. I'm going to grip it with my pliers. I'm going to put a really nice sharp bend in there like so, and then I can thread my bead on either way up, it doesn't matter because we can change it around. What you do need to do is make sure there's a little bit of room. Now as you can see underneath his jaw I've got quite a space just there, but I need, if I drop that down just a little bit, there we go, I need a little bit of space on the top of his head. This is so when we make the ring the wire can come round and fasten in. So he's a bit wobbly right now, but believe me, it won't be when we're finished. So you're going to need your mandrel. Now I've sort of thought of these as men's rings, so I've made them quite big. However, there's no reason it should be a man's ring at all. You could do it to a normal size and, you know, make a lady's ring out of it. So I'm going to pop and twiddle my little skull around, put my wire on. Now because that's firm, and obviously your skull sticks out quite a bit, you need him to be up so his little face is facing you and the back of his head is towards the mandrel. But if you don't quite get this, don't worry about it too much, it will sort itself out. So hold with my thumb and grip all the way around with my wire. Now you notice how the wire at the top is staying at the top, and this is so hard with the camera in the way, and the wire at the bottom remains at the bottom. Don't cross your wires over it, it's untidy on the back of your ring. Now you can see, if I can just grip this so it doesn't all fall off, that I've made it so the wires sit together at the middle back and then they arch out in this lovely smooth curve. Now we need these wires to go in top and bottom, so square ended pliers. You see where the wire crosses? Grip with your pliers and bend that straight up towards you. Yeah? And do exactly the same with the other side. You grip where the wire crosses the bend, sorry my hand was in the way, and we bend it up. You'll see why in a minute. I need these wires to be inside where the skull is, so if I bend that back and pass it through, you can see how misshapen the wire is. Just get my pliers and pull it through. If I didn't have that nice sharp bend, I would have no idea where I was pulling to. There we go. But as it is, it just sits in there neatly. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side. So bend the wire out, feed it through. This is underneath the jaw of the skull, and when you get to that bend, there we go. Okay, now we're not going to do anything with those two wires right now at all. We're going to leave those until the last thing. So let's just, whoops, throw him across the table, because of course you know by now that I like to throw jewellery across the table. We'll just leave those. We don't need to deal with those. We need to deal with the back. We want to get this nice and strong and firm. So I've got my half round wire. Now I have a lot here. I've probably got, maybe 2.5 feet. What would that be in metric? Going on for a metre. The reason for this is when I'm binding a ring, I start in the middle and I work to both sides. So what I will do is I'll grip it about in the middle and I'll get my pliers and I find out where I've put them. Hang on a minute. There we go, let's just get into the middle. Around pliers somewhere. The only problem with working a camera is that you have so little room inside. Right, okay, pliers. Nice, really sharp bend in the middle. Now the reason I use so much is because I don't want to run out. I would rather have a lot left over at either end than run out, because when you'll see as we get nearer the end, but as we're building up onto this wide wrap, let's just, sorry I'm waffling, just get that wrapped nice and tight around there and press it down with your pliers. Always press down with your pliers. This will keep you a nice flat ring shank rather than sort of a bulky circular one. So I'm just passing all the way through the middle, and the middle back of the ring shank is going to be very tight. You know, your two wires are right next door to each other. I'm just pressing down my pliers, wrapping over, pressing down with my pliers. You can't press down with your pliers really too many times, but you can see that I am fielding quite a lot of wire here. However, like I said, I would rather do that than run out, because if you had to add more in, it's going to be noticeable and you're not going to get the sort of smooth look that we're aiming for. So I'm making sure that the flat edge of my half round wire is, it's getting caught around the other wire, is on the inside and the domed edge is outwards. Press down with pliers and wrap over. I'm not wrapping this round and sort of pulling as hard as I can. I'm pulling reasonably firmly, but it's more of a case of getting the majority of the wire through and then just bringing it onto that wire and then pressing it down with pliers. And round again. Now can you see how these spread out? We're going to fill those in on both sides. So I'm just going to wrap a little bit further. There we go. You don't need to see me doing all the tight bits. So I'm about halfway round at the bottom and they're nice and tight. And I've just got to the point now where the wires are starting to get a little wider. So I'm going to do up this side. It's a little bit like wrangling an octopus at the moment because I've got that many wires all over the place. I've got the wires from the top and then I've got two of the binding wires. I'm more laying the wire, the binding wire, over the edge wires. Aren't going to pull super tight. I'm just undoing that again because I've gone over one of the design wires at the top. I just bring that down, press down with your pliers, bring it in and press down with the pliers. We don't want to pull this tight because we don't want to close this nice sort of curve. We don't want to squeeze it that tight together that you're only widening up when you hit the skull. We want this lovely smooth. So I'm almost laying it over the 1mm wire, passing it through, pulling it down till it's shorter and then just pushing it against there. Easy. Press down. You see, there's no tugging at it to make sure that it pulls tight. It's just wrapping between the two wires, allowing the wires to dictate the width that we're binding. Whoops, I keep getting it over that other wire, which then of course if I pulled it tight I'd have, there, see, look like that. I can't pull it tight because I've gone over that wire, so I'll just release that out. There we go. I quite like binding. It's one of those things I can sit down and, well, I quite like binding when I'm not doing it at arm's reach under a camera. I like doing it when it's sitting on my knee. And just gradually bring it round. Okay, If it comes a little bit uneven, just take it back, move it, and flatten it down so that it's smooth. Now, let's go and do the other side for a bit, because I like to do 3 or 4 on one side, 4 or 5 on the other, then move back to the start point, just so that I don't get, you know, sort of too far ahead on one side. Let's just bind this side. Now, you may have wondered about the Memento Mori name. Rings that used to be made, particularly during the Victorian era, in the sort of 1800s, were made as, and it wasn't, although it's remember you may die, and that's what the actual translation is, it wasn't a depressing thing. It was meant more as a positive thing. It was like, remember you'll die, so at the moment we're living, and to enjoy life because it's not going to last. And it's almost like a seize the day type thing, you know. It's very positive in that, yeah, there is this reminder there that it might not last forever, so enjoy what you've got. So as you can see, just gently bringing that round. I quite like the idea of the Momento Mori rings, and I love these skulls. I think these skulls are brilliant. So I'm just going to come further up, and I'm going to do the same on the other side, and I'm going to do that a little bit closer so that I can see what I'm doing. So there we go. I've got all the way up one side now. Now I'm right up to the point where I'm nearly, see, this side's still empty and I've still got this one to do, but on the other side I want my skull to be secure. So I'm right up against the edge of the skull here. It almost doesn't fit in. What it's doing is it's lifting ever so slightly at the side of the skull. Trim that nice and short. Just, you see, I've got quite a bit left, but I really would rather have that. I can always use it later on a bracelet or something. Now then, let's just get that little end bit, and I'm just going to bend it round and tuck it in. No, I can't do it with those pliers. Where's my snipe nose? There we go. And then push that right inside. And that now is up against the side of the skull. So I'll do the other side, so that that one goes all the way up. So let me throw it away again. And ta-da! So, one more wrap will be tight up against the side of his little head. There we go. As you can see, it's almost going sideways. It's that tight to the skull. You certainly couldn't get another one in there unless you were actually coming up the side of the crystal. I'll just flatten that end down. Then I need to trim this off and just tuck it in exactly as we did with the other side. Because we've brought those bindings up so far and they're so tight, just press that down, so tight against the skull won't move. He's absolutely secure there. And we got no wobbles at all because it's nice and tight both sides. Now then, I have these design wires, I think you could call them. I'm just straightening this one out a bit because it's got a little bit bent. If you just put your pliers on and just squeeze down, it tends to just straighten any little lumpy bumpies out. There are different things you could do. You could, if you wanted, do virtually nothing. You could take this wire around and that one around the other side, and then just literally finish it off there at the top. So you could cut it off short and finish it. But if I can just find a finger, it fits. There we go. If you have a look from the top, it's okay, but from the side, can you see it's really quite deep, is that skull? And I think it needs something to protect it around. So you could take the wires and you could just whiz them around in a circle and it would give it that protection. I just don't know that it would look super masculine, but then again, it doesn't have to be a man's ring. This is the way I've done it, with sort of points coming off. It protects the stone and it also just sets it down that little bit. You see what I mean? That the skull doesn't seem to be as proud with that little sort of spiky collar it's got around it. Now that's what I'm going to show you how to do. However, like I say, you could just go around in a circle, or you could, I've got some little copper beads here. Let me just drag these out. There we go. If you were to put several of these on your wire, there we go. I mean, the minute I showed my sons this with beads on, they were, it's girly. But actually, I don't think it is, but teenagers, you know. Anyway, let's just get some beads on. And then if I was to wrap that, I'm only going to do it lightly because I don't want to bend the wire too much. But you can see it looks really quite nice in there with the beads. I kind of like it. So instead of the spiky bits, you could do this and you could put some beads around. And you'd fasten it into there. You'd just trim this off short and then just fasten it into that little area there. And it'd have beads going around. It would look really pretty if you... You see, look, this is it. I'm just going up on pretty things. I was going to say you could put Swarovski crystals on it. It'd look ace. Probably black ones. They might be manly. Maybe you could do manly black beads. So I'm just straightening my wire up again because, of course, we're doing quite a geometric thing. You could measure this and get exactly to the middle and then bend it. But to tell you the truth, roughly the middle of the shank of the ring, put my pliers on and bend it in, and I get a nice point. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side, bring the wire around, put my pliers on the middle and bend it in. The thing is, if it's not exact, it really doesn't matter. So bring the wire now. You could just leave it at that point, just with one. It adds a little step at the side, and you just trim it off and you fasten the ends up. But I'm going to go around again. So pliers on roughly the middle and bend it in. Take the other wire halfway along, pliers on, bend in, nice sharp point. So now I've got two. I'm just going to take this wire down here, and I can't get in at that side, but there is a nice little gap just there. So I'm going to trim some of this length off because I don't want to start pulling through all that through. So I'm trimming down to probably, I don't know, about half an inch, maybe 2 centimetres, and just curling with round nose pliers so that it curls straight through that little gap at the top of the binding on that side of the ring. Nice and tight. Just gone round once, and I'm going to snip that in nice and short, and then with my snipe or chain nose pliers, just going to ease that in. So there's no way it could scratch anybody because it's all tucked in. And I will do exactly the same now on the other side. So yep, I've got a gap there, which is sort of diametrically opposite to the one I've just done. Trim the wire down so that I'm not fighting with a huge length. Curl the wire with round nose pliers starting at the end. Feed it through. I've got my thumb again so that I don't pull too much, because obviously I don't want to pull that sharp pointy bit that we've just made through, because then you'd end up with just tight wire round. And there we go. Just straighten these with my pliers. If they're not quite pointy enough, slip your pliers in and just reinforce that corner, which is easy enough to do. Thumb on one side, pliers on the other. Straighten the bottom one up. Lovely. So I've got 2 layers of nice sort of sharp corners, which I think looks kind of nice, all the way bound, all the way around the edge. And there's my other one, a pale blue one, and I've got one in black. Lovely. If you need to, pop it back on your ring mandrel to straighten it up. I hope you enjoyed that. Happy wrapping.